Hi, thank you for watching Dig Into China. I'm Dong Xiang. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. China faces 6 major risks. 1. The impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on the CCP if Russia suffers defeat. 2nd, the volatility of the Chinese yuan exchange rate. 3rd, the burden of local government debt. 4th, rising unemployment rates. 5th, economic downturn. 6th, the vulnerability of the real estate market. Any of these risks, once triggered, could set off a chain reaction with others, potentially disrupting China's political, economic, and social landscape. The most critical threat is the potential bursting of the real estate bubble, which would have catastrophic consequences for most Chinese citizens. Regarding China's real estate market, there is a critical concern about an impending crisis set to hit from the second half of 2023 to 2024. Notably, between 2018 and 2022, a staggering 54% of all commodity housing sold in China was purchased, drawing over half of the population into the market. However, during this period, sold properties exhibited troubling characteristics. A significant number remained undelivered. Many suffered from poor quality and housing prices declined. The potential risks are alarming. Previously, the danger might not have been apparent due to a psychological waiting period. But now, after 5 years, those who bought properties in or before 2022 will face issues in 2023 and beyond. One significant problem is real estate delivery delays, exerting enormous pressure during this 5-year period. Previous concerns were limited as deliveries were gradually phased in. However, in the latter part of 2023 and beyond, there will be a concentrated time for deliveries. Yet, most properties remain undelivered. For instance, Evergrande alone carried a debt of nearly 1 trillion yuan, comprising the money already collected from home buyers and impacting over 1 million households. Evergrande was supposed to complete construction and deliver those houses as per agreements. With cash shortages and unpaid employees, Evergrande and other companies cannot deliver properties, affecting tens of millions of homes. The looming danger is considerable. Over the past 5 years, there has been a concerning issue with the poor quality of houses constructed, which is now becoming evident on a large scale. Recently, whistleblowers from an organization have reported widespread corner cutting and the use of substandard materials in the construction of China's high-speed rail, and the real estate sector is facing even more severe problems in this regard. On July 19th, Hangzhou witnessed a heavy rainstorm that exposed the true conditions of over 20 real estate projects. This wasn't an extremely large rainstorm. It lasted only a couple of hours. Yet, it transformed these projects into waterfalls, with torrents cascading from rooftops to ground floors, causing flooding that even affected elevators, turning them into water tanks. The Hangzhou heavy rain becomes a hot topic on Weibo's trending searches. Hangzhou residents flooded the internet with images and videos highlighting the intensity of the rain. They described how the rain poured down suddenly, overwhelming even the wipers of their vehicles. The elevated bridges struggled to drain the water quickly, leading to extensive flooding in many areas. Online videos showed elevators in residential areas overflowing with water and tunnels suffering from severe water accumulation, resulting in submerged cars. People questioned, are the elevators in Wanjia Xincheng flooded? I live in Wanjia Xincheng and it's like navigating a maze. Concerns were raised about water reaching not only the basement but also the ground floor, posing potential electrocution risks. Some netizens criticized Hangzhou's municipal management, expressing fear over a focus on achievements and formalism in governance, rather than addressing critical infrastructure improvements and the issue of construction overcapacity. They questioned the city's ability to host the Asian Games with such a drainage system and speculated that shoddy construction might be to blame for the current situation. Let me remind you that this was only a heavy rainstorm, not a continuous downpour with severe winds or other natural disasters. However, this situation serves as a real litmus test, an experiment for the quality of China's real estate. Many newly built residential areas are already experiencing leaks. It makes one wonder, with such quality issues, whether these houses will remain habitable during truly adverse weather conditions or unforeseen events. Just imagine the horror of such a scenario. The third aspect is that many houses were purchased in the past 5 years and are now constrained by various policy restrictions, making immediate sales challenging. As you might be aware, China's current real estate prices are remarkably excessive and lack a solid investment or price foundation. China has the world's lowest rent-to-price ratio, typically ranging from 1% to 2%. In simpler terms, the annual rental income is merely 1% to 2% of the property's value. For a 1 million yuan property, earning 20,000 yuan in rental income per year would be considered excellent. Buying a property for rental purpose would take 50 to 100 years to recoup the investment, highlighting the utterly unrealistic nature of real estate prices. The Chinese economy is currently facing a downturn, accompanied by a significant rise in unemployment rates. In addition, the real estate market is grappling with a massive crisis due to issues like delayed property deliveries and subpar quality. Over the past 5 years, a considerable amount of pre-received payments has accumulated, leading to a critical period of debt repayment. It is advisable for people to consider relocating to other countries if possible. I advise property owners to sell, even at discounted prices. The challenges in the Chinese real estate market are extensive, and no one can prop up the market indefinitely. The scale of the decline and the overall impact on the Chinese real estate market is so enormous that it exceeds the combined fiscal revenue of China for each year, making it an insurmountable situation. Given the current situation, I want to reiterate the objective conditions in reality. The real estate market has poor quality properties, delayed deliveries, and exorbitant prices. Additionally, some people may consider buying during a price decline, but I strongly advise against it. The unpredictability of Chinese property prices makes it risky. What seems like a bargain now could turn into a costly mistake later. A property selling for 10,000 yuan per square meters today may struggle to find buyers at 1,000 yuan in the future. If your family isn't financially well off, it's best to sell or dispose of your properties, despite any reluctance. Waiting for a selling wave to start will only make it harder to find buyers, leaving you with a property whose value might plummet. So, if possible, consider selling all your properties in the second half of this year to avoid being tied to devalued assets. The real estate market is on the brink of collapse, with the flood ready to burst forth, impacting the entire sector. Currently, local Chinese governments are engaged in last-minute negotiations and employing time-delaying tactics. Once the collapse occurs, the Chinese government is expected to implement policies to restrict property sales, especially for second-hand homes. These measures will leave little room for maneuvering. China's planned economy foundation created a narrow time window, potentially around 6 months. Whenever crises are looming, CCP will resort in tight controls as evidenced during COVID pandemic. To maintain political control, Beijing has already placed restrictions on bank withdrawals and transfers, introducing various constraints to the financial system discreetly. Beijing is likely to further limit the real estate market, making it difficult for people to relocate and hindering asset mobility, serving as the Communist Party's final measure to retain power. So, run, Forrest, run, and run now. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.